Greetings fans, hyperfans, and people just lost looking for videos of cats on YouTube. I seem to be having a pretty buggy weekend. I've just done a review of the last of the Beast Hunters Cyberverse figures, which is Hardshell. And now I've dug through my big box of cool stuff sent to me by Paul over at Sir Toys and have pulled out this little insect-based combiner group. So let's get these other chaps out of the way. And we have 5 little bug vehicles. I have no idea what series these guys are originally from. The red and blue beetles look a little like Beetleborgs or some of the stuff that Power Rangers has picked up, but I can't actually find anything online that says what these guys actually are. So if you guys know, please put them in the comment section below. They're not particularly large, and I'm going to have to change what I'm using for size comparison. So here we have a Lego minifigure for scale, and the 5 turn up as a pack, but I'm going to go through them all individually. So starting with this little Stag Beetle.
Black Beetle Turbo Pincer Force.
Really nice chrome on the front piece, which is articulated, goes up and down. The wheels, I'm pretty sure, would have rolled on the original because they're not there on the tyre treads and they look like they're moulded in separately. But on these ones, they're completely static. You have gold paint tap on the top, which doesn't quite wrap around those detailing. The very obvious green at the back, which I will get to in a second. Visible screws on the tank treads. And that's it. He's a little bug tank. Doesn't transform into a robot, although something about that shape makes me think he is supposed to in at least one size. And he's almost identical to this little blue chap.
Ladybird Accelerator Spotted Carapace Force.
Again, really lovely chrome on the front. Goes up and down. Pretty much every other part of him looks identical. He has silver paint apps on the top. Again, not quite wrapping around those at the back. Slightly different design. Again, no real rolling features, just that up and down. Battling horns. The second type we have are these flying ones. We have a red bee.
Grasshopper Sync Pulse Hopping Force.
Complete with stinger on a slider. Again, he really does look like those should roll, but that's just a single moulded piece of plastic. The wings are all on individual hinges. Well, I say hinges, they're sort of caps pushed on. But that's quite firm. Again, really nice chrome on the stinger. He's got nice translucent antenna and eyes and the wings. Obvious combiner port at the end. Yes, they do combine. That's what makes them so cool. You have a Dragonfly. Again, he's got the nice pink translucent wings and eyes on this one. He's got a chrome tailpiece on a spike, which this one is actually probably the weakest of the batch because you've got really bad mold trimming there, and that spike is really not held on particularly well. I really am an advocate of toys being to play with, but if you're giving this to anyone who still puts the stuff in their mouth, you know, most of the people on TFW, take a little bit of super glue to that first. There is a little bit of detailing at the top with this, which makes me think something else is supposed to go on there, but this did not ship with any weapons, so I'm taking it it's probably a leftover from whichever Japanese Ranger Dan style series it's been copied from. With the tail extended carefully, it's about twice the length of a Lego figure. These, as on the other one, are on hinges, but that is mainly for the transformation. I guess you can have them out there, sort of little wing jetpack booster accessories. Actually, that looks quite good there, but that's cool. And then the standalone one, which of course for anyone who collects transforming, combining robots means this guy is going to be the body, is this big chunky cockroach.
Nat, slightly annoyed, high-pitched buzzing force.
In a very lovely lime green. He's got the yellow translucent wings, the same yellow as this bee chap, and the pink eyes, actually the same pink as that guy but over the green plastic. The same capped on wings there, the very obvious second parts of combiner ports there. No movement on the wheels, lots of paint underneath, but that's for robot mode. He's got this little sort of silver splash there, which I don't know is paint rubbing off of something else, whether it's supposed to be something. Yeah, so colour-wise, he's kind of weak, but you know, he's a chunky little so-and-so. Actually, usually with these combiner bots, the guy who makes up the centre is significantly bigger than the rest, but for size comparison, he's the same size as these chunky blue ones, and yeah, pretty much all of them are a similar size, which is kind of nice.
These form a what?
A giant robot.
So, to get him into his combined bot mode, let's start with these two beetles, who are going to become the feet. I'll show you on one because it's pretty much going to be the same for both. The tank tracks bend down, and then there's a second hinge which brings it round to the front. Two little holes there, and two little pegs on the underside of the chrome. Snap those together. It's quite firm. There's a little bit of movement just in the plastic from left to right. You've got a little hole there and a little tag there, so quite obviously that bends up and snaps in. These have got little round section on the sides, one of those push clips at the front and at the top. So let's turn this. Now I know with that visible screw hole you'd think turn that to the back. Unfortunately, I don't know whether it's a manufacturing thing or what, but you actually have to have the screw hole visible. Again, exactly the same transformation for this guy. Leg snaps into place, rotate, and very difficult to show black up on this. Ports on one side, pegs on the other, and the crotch snaps together. Now, because there's that little bit of give in the feet, you can push them down, but it's not really going to hold, and he's going to sort of pop up and rock a little bit. But that's not dreadful. We'll bring in the cockroach body. His transformation is incredibly simple. You pull the two combiner pegs out. He has two little pegs at the bottom rather, which snap pretty firmly to hold that together. So readjusting the camera for height, let's move on to the last two bugs. There's nothing that really makes these left or right, so to your own preferences. I kind of like to swap the position of the two red pieces. Just push all of his wings down flat against his body. These hinges fold up. There is articulation here that goes in both directions. These don't fit in particularly well and pop out every 2 or 3 times you try to move them, but they pop back in just as easily. And these pegs actually seem to be the same octagonal pegs as the Transformers Energon combiners used. The ones that then got scaled up for all the TFC combining robots. Second arm exactly the same as the first. Push that little drill end in, fold the wheels up. I actually move the bottom set down and the top set up on this one just to make it a little bit different. Bend it at the arm and bring it over to the main body. Once you've got your 4 limbs attached, you can just reach in, grab either side and lift up for a slightly less than epic head reveal. Combined mode still shows off all the lovely chrome and paint apps of the individual bug modes, but also adds the red and gold detail that was hidden under the green cockroach. Articulation on this figure is less than impressive. Nothing at the head, nothing from the waist, and nothing from the waist down. The arms aren't bad. They've got a little up and down motion due to the transformation and combination ports, rotation, and an elbow joint. The weapons can also slide in and out depending on your mood. The plastic quality on these figures is not the most fantastic in the world, and there are 1 or 2 QC issues, especially with mould flashing on some of those. And due to those feet, he's not particularly great at standing. What he is though, is a teeny tiny Power Ranger style robot that you can have quite happily sitting on your desk without taking up masses of space. Check out the link below to Sir Toys, where this guy is available for a lot less than you'd imagine. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you like the channel and you want to see Starscream back as the size comparison robot, let's get this into triple figures. And whilst I leave you considering whether you want a bevy of buggy bots in your bag, let me remind you, if you're keeping them mint in package, you're not a toy collector, you're a box collector. See you next time.